So is it visible now?
Yeah, of course.
Wait a second, and yes. So this is about data storage, and let's see the contents. So in this uh, module, in this session, we will talk about input-output system and how a storage memory is organized in our system.
Okay.
So for the input-output devices, to be able to use input-output device, we need hardware, controller, and software drivers. Only for reading, only for writing, storage, communication, both way. So the thing is, these are the devices, these are its type and how it works through which person manage it and their speed. So first device is mouse. This device is input type of device, and humans always operated and speed is 1 bit per second, 1 megabit per second. It's not megabyte, it's megabit. Second one is screen output human 80,000 megabit per second. Modem communication machine 0.03. LAN local area network communication, because it's a communication device. Modem, generally we use modem to translate the digital signal into uh, an to analog signal into digital signal, the frequency, radio frequency, whatever coming through the wires, we just convert into bit or digital signals. So this modem is for communication. Through this, we transfer our message or transfer our data. LAN is arrangement of network locally. So your outer network connects with your internal network, and how you organize your internal network, that is LAN, local area network. That is communication type. Machine oriented, automated machine, 1000 megabit per second. Tape, magnetic tape. This the type of device is hardware. This hardware type is storage. Partner machine. Obviously, machine reads it, machine copy, machine write the data. 5000 megabit per second. Last one is disk, your hard disk. Storage device, machine, 6000 megabit per second. Okay, so this is the architecture. This is your processor. And before, between main memory and processor, there is a cache. We have already discussed this part. And these are buses. This is memory bus. Memory bus is a bus flow line which helps to fetch data from a memory part and to pass it to the processor and to pass the data of processor to the memory simultaneously. uh, it works that. These are the interrupts. I think you know what are the interrupt. What are the concept of interrupts? Can someone uh, explain it? What
Can you
are
repeat your question?
the question is, what are the interrupts in CPU? Interrupts.
In CPU, yes?
Yeah, and like in general also, in computer world, in architecture, what are the interrupts? Guys, I think you guys are not taking any revision of your classes. It seems. One more
I
thing.
think interrupt
Okay, please.
interrupt it's condition alerts the processor. Yes.
Okay. Then
To it's like as a request for the processor to interrupt the currently currently executing code.
okay, an example, real life example.
Uh, Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Example, yes.
Yes, example. Time's up. Definition was correct. And example is if processor is doing some work, let's say processor is doing some background task. Meanwhile, the task you have requested CPU to open one file of your in your drive. So the moment when you click on the file, so the background process will be it will be stopped for a fraction of second, and your file will be open. Then again it will again back to the previous task and it will run that. This is one of the example. Your desktop always works, always executes background information. But if you are requesting, if you are clicking on file, sometimes you can't see the delay. It opens at very next moment. So that
As
is
I
interrupt.
understand, sorry, as I understand, interrupts it's a connector between user and hardware. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is the architecture. Here processor is there, memory bus is there, and here you can see input output controller. Input output controller is there. So this controller means interface. Clearly, these are the interfaces.
Mm-hmm.
Why we need interface? Because these are high level memories, these are low level memories. If I divide into low and high, high level means high executable, high execution speed, very fast memories, and these memories are very slow. Not very slow, but ideally we believe if we compare these disk memories, all these uh, secondary memories with this processor or cache, obviously these memories are slower than that. So these are interface which interact your external memories, secondary memories to the internal memories. These are controllers, graphic input controller, network input out controller. So everything is there, means your all device interact with the memory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we can see this is North Bridge and South Bridge. So North Bridge work is CPU is directly connected in this North Bridge. This is CPU port. This is CPU slot. This is a
Okay.
motherboard, and this is CPU slot.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see CPU is connected, front side bus, and clock generator is there. Then memory controller hub is there. This is memory controller hub, and this thing which you are seeing right now, this is bridge, but this upside, this is actually a you can say a cooler. Actually, it's a metal cooler. It helps
Uh-huh.
to
Mm-hmm.
cool down your system, and sometimes they put a fan in front on the top of your CPU with cooling blade. Cooling blade, a cooling tower is there. A small tower is there. You can see if you open your motherboard, then you can see this thing. These are RAM ports.
Mm-hmm. I know. Mm-hmm.
This is VGA.
Video.
Yeah, video. VGA
Mm-hmm.
adapter. That's a VGA cable. USB, and these are port for mouse. If you have different kind of port and power. Okay, let's say this one. Memory slots are there. So here, North Bridge, and these are memory slots. RAM. This is your main memory.
Memory. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And this is high Speed graphic AGP PCI Express graphic card slot. These are graphic card slots. Here you can see these are graphic slot.
I got it.
And Southbridge, yes, Southbridge there. PCI slot, yes, PCI slots are there. And Flash ROM BIOS. I
And
think
why we need
here,
a soft bridge and north bridge to connect to other slots?
yes, exactly.
Other
Here you can
slots?
see IDE, SATA, USB, Ethernet, audio codec, CMOS memory. That's why we have divided it. This is interface. Actually,
North
this
and
is
south bridge. It's like
actually
memory.
actually see here you can see this is your memory and this is
Mm-hmm.
memory bus and this is controller. So
Mm-hmm.
controller means there should be an interface which will interact your other secondary memories to this one.
Okay.
So that's why here these are South Bridge, this input output controller hub. This is your interface.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what is this battery?
No, I don't know.
We we call it CMOS battery. CMOS battery.
Mm-hmm.
This is CMOS battery, we call it. So CMOS battery work is to maintain your date and time if your system is off. So now you can imagine if your laptop and desktop is shut, you have shut down your system. Still, if you're opening it, it will match the time. If network is connected or not, it will match the current time. Because of this CMOS battery, it helps to maintain the time. That is why in some laptop desktop, sometimes you can see if you are shut down the system and if you're turning on, it will be on different time zone because of if CMOS battery is old, if there is no power in this battery, then obviously time synchronization will be affected.
Uh-huh.
And here this is ROM, I guess. Very small chip is there. That's read only memory, very fast memory. Flash ROM, BIOS, it's connected.
Cache room.
I think this flash ROM, very small. And super input output, serial port, parallel port, floppy disk, keyboard, mouse. And here you can see these are connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this one is, I think, inside it, buses are there. The wire which you're seeing, it maybe it's visible, but inside there are so many circuits inside. You can see even not in this diagram, but if you have seen a circuit board uh, physically, then you can see flow lines inside it. So actually, this is silicon chip, and
Mm-hmm.
this silicon has at least 14 layers. This may look a single board, but this board consists 14 layers generally. Okay, types device, symbol devices, exchange symbols, lack addressing, keyboard, mouse, block devices, exchange block of bytes, address by block number, disk network. So here two types of devices are there. Symbol devices, exchange symbols. So in your keyboard, in your mouse, you click the button, and your keyboard you type the characters. So it changes your character into machine language. So that devices are there, keyboard and mouse, and block devices, exchange blocks of byte. So your disk and network. These devices are completely machine devices, automated devices. Their work is to transfer block of information. Like disk, you can't control, you can't transfer any signal through your disk. It's the system who fetch the data. It is a system who manages and write the data on this disk or the memory. But in keyboard mouse, you have full control over that. But in the disk and network, system manages it. So these devices are block devices, and these devices are keyboard mouse are the symbol devices. Okay, I think I have already explained
Okay.
this. DMA, direct memory access, allow device transfer without use of CPU, often used for block devices. I think I have explained in the last lecture. If you can remember it, let me remember. Let me show you that. Yeah, I think. Yes, last we studied about structured programming, input output program, and DMA. Programmed memory access, input output program, and this one, direct memory access. So allows device transfer without use of CPU. It often used for block devices. This is direct memory access. This term is to direct transfer memory to memory, because in the programmed and in input output program, the problem was that it used to it I would say uh, it used the CPU to transfer memory from one end to different ends. This is the problem. That is why, to overcome of that problem, we implemented DMA. Like if you want to transfer a data from secondary memory, hard disk, to the RAM. If you want to transfer it, so there is no need of CPU. That is direct memory access. Often you used it for block devices. So this memory to memory conversion transfer is block devices. You don't use symbol devices. IRQ, physical signals to CPU. Okay. This IRQ means your CPU is there and you are generating signals, you are typing anything, your memory, it is generating a physical signals, analog signals, or radio frequency, or any type of signals to your CPU. That's IRQ. Software pooling. It requires CPU, require, one second, requires CPU work, often without need. Can be used instead of IRQ on heavy loaded devices. So software pooling is whatever software you are having. So sometimes if memory transfer is there, then it will not use, and your software, your program, whatever instruction you have written, it will take over that. It will fetch the things and it will transfer to the other memory. You don't need to use CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you transfer let's say a memory is in your hard disk, a file is your hard disk, and you are transferring it to your pen drive. Sometimes you don't need to use CPU, directly you can transfer it. So that is software pooling. Through the softwares, you are creating a uh, you are through the softwares, through the threading, multitasking, you are managing. So this can be a software pooling. So IRQ is you don't need to generate CPU signals. Your RAM can transfer it. Your software, your
Okay.
tool can transfer it, like your operating system. All organization can use one of two ISA principles: memory mapped input output ports. Memory mapped device registers are part of memory address range. Input port. Each device has address which is not memory address. This is latest devices. This is old devices. Memory mapped means device registers are part of memory address range. So memory address range means the inside registers uh, are the part, means less memory. Simply, very less memory. Input port means there are ports which can handle out, you can say, the data of other memories, secondary memories, external memories. Through input output port, you can deal it. Through memory map, you can map the internal memories like RAM, ROM, cache, whatever data, and register also. That's inside data you can use through memory mapped. And these data, that means through port, you can also take outside data and you can bring it on to your CPU. Input output problem space. A lot of things needs input output: virtual memory, networks, file access. What is virtual memory? What is virtual memory?
It is used as a secondary memory.
Virtual memory.
And
What is virtual memory?
it's like a memory, and it helps the main memory to access to data quickly.
Okay, that's correct, but partially correct.
Hmm.
Just remember the definition, which I have told that it provides the illusion to the programmer that a process, when size larger than main memory, can execute. The thing is, if your RAM size is 2 GB and if your file size is 4 GB, so it's not possible to handle, it's not possible for RAM to handle such level of execution. So virtual memory distributes into parts, create pages P1, P2, P3, P4, and it fragment it, and anytime if you want to use it, it will quickly fetch it. So your answer was partial correct, but fine, at least you tried it. There are input output bottlenecks which leads to more CPU time wasted waiting for the input output request. Because of input output request, obviously, in your memory architecture, interface is there, interface is there. The bottleneck which leads to more CPU time wasted waiting for the input output request. The thing is,
W-
interface is there, and interface is making ready your system. Same thing. The last one, same thing. It is making ready your system, then it is checking everything, then it is transferring the uh, data. That means it is holding your CPU for longer time. Input output could be left slow if CPU has other work to do. Yes. Program counter, PC means program counter, usually does not have many work to do in place for waiting for input output. Servers can find other job, but it will require more RAM and context switches. These are the problem with input output interface, that if you are using any traditional memory mapping technique, sometimes it can put your CPU on hold, and that's supposed to not happen. PC usually does not have many work to do in place on waiting for input output. Servers can find other jobs, but it will require more RAM and context switches. Server means dedicated computing system which handles client request, server device request. They can do other work also, but still it, since it is a dedicated, a very different kind of devices, so here you need more RAM because you are taking a lot of traffic. Sometime in past here was time when we program input output directly. Today we could not allow process access to device directly. To disallow monopolization of device, allow equal access, effective use. Today device programming is done in OS level by drivers. Exactly. So the whole crux of this thing is, sometime in past, here was times when program input output directly. Means direct accessing was possible in the past, in the old technology. You don't need to create fragmentation. You don't need to create a dividation in the memory. You don't need to create a pages, because back then your file size used to very less than your main memory. But nowadays it's completely impossible. File size can be anything. It can be on any extent. So you need to tackle it. You need to execute it. So in that case, uh, it's better to implement this kind of management, this kind of paging thing through operating system. And that is why in Windows, virtual memory is called as page file. We create pages of memory to manage it. So anytime if I want to access some memory, that data is already in RAM. Okay,
Oh.
nice animation. That's secret hard disk. So here you can see, once again. This is the internal hard disk functioning. This is actuator. Actuator are the devices which converts your this analog signal into, reads the data and converts a digital signal. Here you can see the tape. This is connection. Here you connect your hard disk with the ports. Logic boards are there here. Spindle, which rotates your disks. These are magnetic disks. Read write head. It will read one by one. This is a vectors. This is called sectors. These are tracks. Here, these are tracks and sectors are there. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 disks are there. That's why it is recommended, and different organization and different company, they recommend don't put magnet in front of uh, hard disk. It can impact. It can impact your memory and data. So hard disk use spinning disk platers to magnetically store information. This writing read write head, it reads your data, it write also. This technology. So this internal thing, spine spindle, it rotates. Disks are connected. Track, I said that these are the track, these are the sectors. These are sectors. This is tracks inside it. This is that rod in which this whole disk rotates. These are platers, cylinder, arms with read write head. These read write head, one by one it reads that. Here you can see read write head. This is one the read write head.
Mm-hmm.
Rotation clockwise. In this way it rotates. Read write
Mm-hmm.
head reads the data and then transfer it to, it converts into magnetic signal or your analog signal into digital signal. Disk read write latency. Disk read write latency has four components: seek delay, head seek to write track. So four components. Seek delay means uh, head seek to write track. One second, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to take one call. Is it visible now?
Never mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is seek delay. So head seek to right track. Right track means here you can see these are track arms with read write head. So right tracks on this particular track, one by one track. One second. Yeah. Rotational delay. These are the you can say properties of this read write latency. Four component. If latency is there, if any latency actually means delay, you can say a delay between a signal to generate the actual operation. Let's say if you're clicking on any icon, so how much time it will take to open that? So that is latency. If I'm uh, technically, I'm speaking from this location and you are listening. So there is a slight delay. Might be you're not observing, but there is a delay. Even the video also, it always delay because I can feel it. If I'm saying something, if I'm asking question, then your reply is always a there. I can see the delay of few seconds because my voice is taking a time. So that data latency is there. So that read write latency is if you have clicked the icon, so obviously your RAM and your whole operating system will look for the data in the disk. So that read write head will go over the disk and it will fetch that. So that delay, that particular delay has some components, that is seek delay. So head write to right track exact on the to right track means your track is moving and going for the exact track, which particular track you have stored your data. To get that delay is seek delay, to seek that track. Here this is
Mhm.
these are
Okay.
tracks, and this particular pointer, how much time it will take to read the particular track, that time is the delay, seek delay. Then rotational delay. Right sector rotates under head. On average, time to go halfway around the disk. So in rotation, that's a pointer, and the rotation also, because disk is also rotating. So that rotation delay is right sector rotates under the head. Particular to reach that head, how much time it will take, how much time a disk will take, that rotation. Transfer time, data actually being transferred from disk to pointer, pointer to your port. Controller delay, control overhead on either side. So your controller means the interface which will transfer it to your CPU or the other memories. So example, time to read a 4 KB page assuming. So these question might come. So if this time question is coming, time to read a 4 KB page. Why page? Can you say why page is mentioned? Let me zoom on it. Okay. Can you say why 4 KB page they have mentioned?
Because they want to get that data, this particular data.
Page. I have to ask why they have mentioned time to read a 4 KB page. Because you know what is page. Page is a segmentation of data to create virtual fragmentation on your memory, because that page has the actual data information. That's why we call page, because it's a Windows operating system. So we can call it page. It's a fragmentation. It's a dividation of the memory. So 128 sector divide by tracks, 552 byte by sector, 6000 RPM, 10 microsecond T-seek, 1 microsecond T-controller. So 6000 RPM, you can convert 100 RPM per second. If minute is there, then second 100, and microsecond 10. So rotation is 10 microsecond by 2. Okay, 10 KB page, and so that's why here 10 microsecond is transfer rate into 8 by 128. How this come? Because these 4 KB page 8512 sectors. Okay, transfer 10 microsecond into 10. So that means time to read a 4 KB. First, we need to understand the tracks. This will be given in the question. 128 sector on the track. These are the information that on the track. Sector means actually, let me show you. Here you can see sectors. This is track. This is track actually. This round shape, this round circle. And this horizontal line, this one area. Can I show it through? Yeah. This is, so these are the tracks in the circle. Let's say these are the circles in the test. These are circles, and these lines. So this particular is track. This particular one is track, and this is sector. This one is sector. These are tracks. These lines, and these are sectors. This one, this particular piece of this track is called sector. So 128 sector on track. So in this way, 128 sector. If you calculate this one, then total it will be 128 sectors. So in this one track, in the one disk, 128 tracks can be. One second. Okay. Then if 128 there, then 512 byte per sector. That's information. So RPM 6000. That's a given information. These are the given information with your question. So you have just resolved it, that if 6000 RPM is there per second, microsecond, that rotation is 10 microsecond by 2. And that is 5. And rotation. That means, okay, 10 microsecond per rotation. If one rotation is taking 10 microsecond, then divide by 2. 2 rotation, 5 microsecond. Why 2? Yeah, this is single microsecond per rotation. One rotation is there, and then time rotation, T rotation is there. Yeah, right sector rotates under the head. So read and write head 2 times. So 5 microsecond. Yeah, this 2 means read and write head. For 2, it will be 5 microsecond. If you divide by 2, then for each, it will take 5. Yeah, this is clear. 6000 RPM is given. And if this is rotation per minute, so if rotation per minute is there, so in a 1 minute, 60 seconds are there. 60 seconds in 1 minute.
Yes.
So that would be 100. That's 100
100
rotation per
minutes.
second. 100 rotation per second. I'm dividing. If 6000 rotation per minute is given, if I want to transfer it, if I want to convert it to seconds, so 60. So that's 100 rotation per second. If 100 rotation per second is coming, then I can also say that 10, this is the seek time, 10 microsecond, T seek. T seek means seek delay. So that would be around, if you delay it, if 10-second delay is there, then it would be 10 microsecond. Yes. Ten microsecond per rotation. That's a delay. If that delay is there, then rotation is, in rotation, on average time to go halfway around the disk. So if that is the T rotation, rotation means time to go halfway around the disk. That disk is there in the disk. Halfway is between this distance to this distance. This point is half time. So that means you need to divide by 2, then you can calculate exact time. So if that is given, this whole rotation means from here to there. So this T rotation is, if you divide by 2, that's 10 microsecond divided by 2, that is 5 microsecond here. Four KB file means 185.128 bytes sectors. Transfer 128. How 128? So that's, let's see, 8512 byte. So first we need to convert it. So that's 1 KB has 1024 bytes. So 4 KB will have 1024 into 4. That will be byte. That's 4.
Sectors, yeah? It's for sectors.
Yeah, this is 4 size. 4 KB page. We need to convert into byte first.
By, okay.
So I'm converting in 4, 4, 16, 1, 8, 9, 0, 4. That's byte. Uh, 8512 byte. Okay, how this comes? So 100 if there, then 1000, then 4000, 8512 byte. So either they have converted into 8512 byte per sectors. 1 second, let me check. Yeah, 512 byte per sector it can remain. Then we have to divide it. Divide by 512. If 4096 byte total length is there and 8512 byte per sector it will read. This is the total this much level of the thing is there. 4 KB I have converted 512 byte per sector. So transfer is 10 microsecond. That's the delay. That delay can come 8 by 512. Why 8 is there? Because simply 8 512 is there. Yes, that sector. And we need transfer. Transfer is data actually being transferred. So 10 microsecond delay, 8 by 52, that is 01. Okay, let me add it. So 8 by 500 sector. So if we can divide it by 4. Oh, 1 second. 512. Yes. If I divide 4096, so let me do it. Okay, so let me convert. Okay, so 4 KB into 1024 divide by 5128. Here you can see 8. Clear?
Yes.
Why it has come? Because 4 kilobyte, 1 KB, 1024 byte is there, and for 4 KB it will be 4096. Because 512 byte is taking one sector, so you need to divide this number by 512. That is 8. So 8 byte per sector. That would be 8. 8 sector will be occupied. So transfer rate is 10. That's the delay. Rotation time into transfer is actually delay time, rotation plus 8 total sector. So it's like 10 microsecond. That's the total delay and 8 sectors. So 8 sectors are hit. So it will go to the 8 sectors and 128 sectors are in one track. So that means 8 divided by 128, exactly correct. I understood. And because
Yeah, I
this
got
is
it.
partition, sector tracks are there. So
Mhm.
dividing by sectors, we can get the exact time of transfer. That is 10 delay, 8 total number of sectors divided by 128 tracks. And here you can see 0.6 microsecond. So in this way, total time is T disk is equal to total time is equal to T seek plus rotation plus transfer plus controller. So 10, that's a seek time. That's a T. T seek time means head seek to right track, exact on the right track. So that's 10 microsecond. It will take to read that. That time plus rotation time. Rotation time is given. Rotation time you have calculated because of RPM. 6000 RPM is there, and 1000 that's a 10 microsecond speed is there. So obviously 2 partition is there. So 5 microsecond speed is there. That's the rotation speed, full rotation, 5 microsecond. 10, 5, 0.6 is your transfer, plus 1 is controller, that's controller, MS controller. So you need to add everything. Seek, rotation, transfer, controller, and 6.6 microsecond. So see, if 4 KB file is there, 4 KB page you have created, 16 microsecond will take to read it. So it will happen in just a fraction of second. You cannot realize it. 4 KB data. So this thing will happen if this kind of arrangement is there. I will send this slide and you can solve this question, as this is the same slide of the university module leader. So I think they can ask this question.
Can we also solve 4 GB page? Like, is that possible?
4
GB
GB.
No
or
problem.
MB?
Yeah, first convert GB into MB,
Gigabytes.
MB into kilobyte, and kilobyte into bytes.
And yeah.
Then you will get the total number of sectors. Just replace it. Instead of 8, write that number. Then it will become your total.
Okay. Can you explain what will happen in controller delay and rotational delay?
This delay, a rotational delay. Yeah, exactly. So this rotational delay is right sector rotates under the head. See, there is a pointer. Pointer will go to the exact particular track. But that's the functioning of pointer.
Mr. Kumar?
Yeah. Hello. I'm audible.
Mr. Kumar, hello.
Hello. Yes. I'm audible. I'm audible.
Yes.
What happened? Photo. Okay, someone sent that.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Mr. Kumar.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Hello. Hello. I think.
Hello. I'm audible for all.
I sent in group.
First of all, I'm audible to all.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
For GB to for GB, it
is showing you 40000. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
we
you are asking,
need to divide by
yeah, you need to divide it. You divide it by 512.
uh,
Divide it.
520, yes?
This one, 512.
520.
512. You need to divide it.
I know
Because this is the speed given, na?
128.
512, 512 byte per sector.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Sorry, after to transform to Kaba, we need to divide by 124, 8.
124, 8. When? Can you again repeat your question?
Yeah, when we after transform to kilobytes, we need to divide by 128.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
But
and
But you
multiply
have to
no,
turn
you,
into byte.
no. Here you need to multiply it.
multiply to 10, then divide by 128.
Exactly. You need to multiply it. See, let me show you. Uh, so let's say this one, 4 GB you want to transfer. Okay. So in 4 GB, sorry, in 4 GB,
Yeah, we got it.
1 second. So this is 4 GB. So when 4 GB, how many MBs are there? 1024 into 2 into 4. Correct? These are MB.
Yes.
Clear? And
MB.
whatever answer you will get, you need to multiply that one into 1024 again. Okay. Whatever value you will receive by this one, you need to put here, you need to multiply it. Then you will get bytes. You will get
Kilobyte.
kilobytes, sorry. You will get kilobytes. You will get kilobytes. And that means, again, you need to multiply whatever answer you will receive here again into that answer into again 1024. Then you will get bytes.
Byte.
Okay. Sometimes I have seen a lot of books also. 102 instead of 8-bit, instead of they consider in uh, in 1 byte there is 10 bits. Sometimes they assume it for your
Yes.
for easy calculation. Sometimes they assume 1 byte can have 10 bits. That is why in your Google translation, in the Google conversion, whatever you search that, it is showing something else. But originally that is 1024. Both are correct.
Okay.
I think you have solved that gravitational question in your physics also. Perhaps if you solved it. So sometimes we calculate gravity by 9.8 meter per second. Sometimes
Yes.
we calculate by 10 direct. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
Mm-hmm. I see.
hard drive. Magnetic disk provide bulk of secondary storage of modern computers. Device rotates up to 15,000 times per minute. Okay, that's about the hard disk. Transfer rate is rate at which data flow between drive and computer. That's the data flow. Positioning time, random access time, is time to move. That's random access time. Is time to move disk arm to desired cylinder, seek time, and time for desired sector to rotate under the disk head, rotational latency. Now I think it's clear what is seek time. This is the exact rotation head. This is rotation head, positioning time. You can say this is seek delay. This is seek delay. Positioning time is seek delay. Is time to move disk arm to desired disk cylinder and time to desired sector to rotate under the disk. Head crash result from the disk head making contact with disk surface. Disk can be removable. Yes, you can remove it. Drive attached to computer via input output bus. Yes. What is this one? Here you can see. These are buses. This is a disk. Buses vary, including PATA, SATA, USB, and I don't know what is SCSI. I've never heard this one. But PATA, yes, the old one. SATA is the newer port which we are using right now. PATA is the older one because of pins. There was pin like, I think right now we have very small micro pins, and here pins is there. In this way, pins are there. But in the previous one, it's like this pin, 8 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, and above 1, 2, 3, 4. This kind of pin was there in PATA. This pins. Right now, this pin has converted to this one, a small chip with pins, a big pin. That is PATA. Because old technology. PATA is old technology. Pins were less, less memory bus support system. So that is why I think in 2007 or 10, I guess, when SATA was released, then I had to use conversion cable to convert my SATA hard disk to PATA motherboard. I used that. That's a pin. Generally, this pin. I think you have seen that VGA to HDMI converter. You know, VGA cable and HDMI cable.
Yes.
It was like that. It just it was an old technology, and we use converter to convert that device into to interact that device into our motherboard. It's just a connection plus obviously old technology. So read write speed is different, rotation speed is different, memory bus is different. Yes, PATA is old technology, SATA is updated. Host controller in computer use bus to talk disk controller built into drive on storage array. So host controller in computer use bus to talk. That means I'm talking about disk controller. Disk controller. This is host controller. Host controller. It uses buses to interact with these memory to bring this data. This data is managed by this memory bus. Then it also provide to the processor.
Why there are 2 disks?
You can use 2 or 3 disks now in your memory. That's disk. Look, let's see. This is hard disk. This is optical disk.
I see. Okay.
And there can be 2 or 3 disks also. You can put 2 hard drive. Now two memories are there. Even you can use a hard disk and your SSD both simultaneously.
Is it possible to put 2 hard disks?
Yeah, some architectures allows that.
Wow.
Few architectures allows that. Because I have seen few laptops where 2 hard disk support system was there.
Like what will happen? It will increase like access time, or like it will work more
See,
efficiently
if
or something?
see see if 2 slots are there, if 2 ports are there of hard disk, generally nowadays they don't provide it. But in the older laptops they used to provide it. So what will happen is if you transfer your operating system in the fastest memory, let's say in 2 ports, you have used SSD and hard disk. So if you have installed operating system in the SSD, so obviously it will boot your operating system fast because it is the first
Mm-hmm.
memory which interacts your CPU. And secondary memory, if you are using the hardest one, you are using for storage device, just for keeping your files. Obviously, it will impact your whole processing system.
And I have a question, like C, and which one is a hard disk, like C or D in laptop?
T.
No,
C, yes?
C and D are partition of your hard disk. These are virtual
But the
partition.
main
There
it
is
is
no
C.
partition. If you think that local disk C, local disk D are the disk in the cylinder, no, there is no such kind of disk. It's just a virtual partition. It's just
But
a
Mr.
virtual
Kumar,
partition.
as I know, the C it's more its main memory. Yes.
No. That one is different. I guess I'm not getting your question. Can you again
Okay.
ask?
Doston.
Can you
Yes.
repeat your question?
Repeat your question, Doston.
No, he's asking from you.
Yeah. But
Please
I
report it.
have a question.
I have heard it wrong. Maybe I missed some part. Can you again repeat your question? You asked about disk C, local disk regarding that. Can you again repeat that?
I was asking like C is a like hard disk or D? It was my question, yeah.
Okay, I got it. First of all, local disk C, local disk D, E, whatever disk partition you are saying, it's a virtual. There is no such partition. You
Both of them?
cannot, yeah, this is completely virtual.
Uh-huh.
Together, all the disks combined are a single memory, and there is no such kind of partition. Even you can see this thing, if you have used Linux ever, then perhaps you can see there is no partition in Linux. There is no local disk C or D or E in Linux operating system. But in Windows, yes, it is. Just for your ease, they have provided you this virtualization to create a virtual partition of your memory. But in practical, in actual, there is no kind of partition. So if you are adding any external hard disk or any other hard disk with your desktop, so your operating
Mm-hmm.
system will create a partition copy. It will look like local disk C, D, E, F, and so on. Even if you connect a pen drive with your in your PC or laptop, still it will show like local disk F or G. So it is a alphabetical order number, and Windows virtually create it. So this is no such kind of partition. You can't say that this is local disk, or it depends on your partition and depends on your operating system also.
I have one more question, if you don't mind.
Please ask.
So why then people suggest to put all the files in D section instead of C? Because we know
Okay,
that
very nice observation. The thing is, local disk C, it is it keeps all your operating system files. The first thing which is loaded by the RAM is your local disk C. Okay, so C consists essential files. So the time which will be taken by the RAM to read your local disk C, if the files are less, so obviously booting time will be reduced. So your laptop will quickly open. But if you put all the file in the C, so as per Windows functioning, it will read all the file of C. Obviously, you have put your additional data in the C, so it will read those data as well. So might be it will increase the booting time. So it's better to not the put file in disk C, because operating system is completely a interface. It's a virtual layer of it's a software layer, you can say, where software interacts your hardware. So software will read a portion of your memory. So if memory portion is large, it will take too much time to read to open your system. That is why it is said that don't put your all the files in C, because the more you will fill your C, it will take so much time to open any application or any file. So it's better to put it in somewhere else so that your booting and your background process can remain normalized.
Thank you.
One more um, answer of this. If C is free, if C memory, local disk C is free, so what would happen is sometimes if you open a application, if you open a software, as you know, application has some size, so it will directly load that into C first. If you don't have much memory space in C, so your processing will be slow. Obviously, there should be proper space in your hard disk in C, so that you can utilize multitasking. Otherwise, multitasking will be very tough. Disk management. One more. Okay, that's disk management. Low level formatting of physical formatting, dividing a disk into sectors that disk controller can read and write. Actually, physical formatting, like physical means the real formatting. In disk, you create sectors so that disk controller can read it on particular sector, how you can read it. To use a disk to hold files, the operating system still needs to record its own data structure on the disk. Uh, Operating system actually pulls your data and write it on the disk. Partition is the disk into one more group of cylinders. Logical formatting, making the file system. This partition is not that disk, your operating system formatting. It is physical one in the disk. 1, 2, 3, these disk. 1, 2, 3. These are partition. Logical formatting, making a file system. Yes, local disk C, local disk E. This is called logical formatting. Boot blocks initialize system. The bootstrap is stored in a ROM. Yes. Bootstrap loader program. Methods such as sectors sparsing used to handle bad blocks. Uh, read-only memory. Some programs instructions are already stored in your ROM memory. Their work is to perform, to fetch details from any memory. These are the programs, you cannot change it. In ROM, you cannot overcome, you cannot change it. That is why these program helps to perform essential operation in the system.
I have a question.
Please ask.
What's the difference between ROM and RAM? RAM, I mean.
Okay, so RAM is memory which fetch the data from your secondary memory. It also maintain index of every data. It also helps to boot your operating system. It loads every data operating system into its segments, into its partition, frame, where ROM is a memory which is pre-structured, predefined, and it helps to perform essential operations of system.
Sorry, can you repeat your, I guess your internet
Clear?
or mine was bad.
Okay, okay. I was saying that RAM is a memory. You can call it a very this memory helps to track all the data of secondary memory that means, and it also helps to boot your operating system, that is RAM. But in ROM, it is pre-structured to run essential operation of the system. As ROM is already predefined, so you cannot change its operation. But in RAM, once you turn off the system, it will erase all the content of inside the RAM.
So what kind of files or data will be on ROM?
That is structured program data, program memory of code,
And we cannot change it yet?
predefined code. Yeah, you can't change it.
I see.
Master boot record, MBR. Here you can say new drive is there. This is
Mhm.
partition drive C or D you have created. So this is not exact partition in your disk. This is logical level information. It is showing that how operating system divided your memory into these sectors. This is completely logical level. This is abstraction. You can't see in the disk. If you take out the hard disk, if you uh, if you unscrew the box, if you put out the disk, then you can't see this partition. This is a implementation, but through diagram we can see it how it works. So this C and D, virtually it is working like that, but technically there is no partition. So MBR is master boot record. 0, cylinder 0, head 0, sector 1. First sector, head 0, cylinder 1, 0 for reading. This is formatted drive. If you format your drive disk CD, remove the data, then it will look like that. You can't see it. Did you get that? Did you get my point? What I'm trying to say? That these information are completely logical level. You can't you can't see this thing on physical level. In your hard disk, you can't see this thing. If you take out the hard disk, you can't see these tracks.
And that means it will search first C, then it goes to D, yes?
Yeah, I think yes.
That's an inside thing. It depends on your reading right head. Whatever data you have requested, it will go to that. That is
I
why
see.
C comes first. T inside this level hierarchy is there, but that it happens in so fraction of second, so you can't measure it. Here partition C D E, one belong to disk 0, disk 1, and LAN WAN network attached storage. Network attached storage is storage made available over the network rather than over the local connection. So LAN WAN, okay. So this is a topic. Actually, it is about centralized system. Let's say I have created, uh, let's say I have hard disk. Now I have collected 10 and 20 hard disks together. So what I will do is I will create a server where I will create the cluster of all these hard disks and will connect to system. So this is network attached storage. So if I have 3 or 4 room building, so one room is dedicated for the storage. Storage racks are there. In the racks, I have put it desktop, and memory is connected. Memory cluster is connected, and might be uh, it is very interesting for you all that recently I have heard this technology that there is a company, I think Air Force of US or some other country. Uh, they they were looking for supercomputer ability functioning, supercomputer ability kind of system, but creating supercomputer is very costly part. It will cost you a lot. So what they did is, what they did, they actually purchased 1,000 PlayStations. They create a cluster PlayStation system, then they ran their applications over that. It is similar to that. You have memory, just create a cluster of memory, connect it, create a single big memory, that is network attached storage, implemented via remote procedure calls RPC, host storage. That means through network, LAN WAN. LAN means local network, WAN means your internet. Through internet, you are transferring the data to a random location, that is network attached storage. Storage area network, storage array, tape library, data processing center, centralized system is there, multiple hosts attached to multiple storage array. So these are cluster of data, big data, not that big one, but a large storage. Okay, HDD progress, 100% a year, and data transfer speed 45% a year. Rotation and seeking time 8 minus 8 per year. Cost per MB 100% a year. That's the capacity over the years. You can see over there this graph. This is linear regression. Actually, if you are studying mathematics, are you studying mathematics?
Yes, yes.
So do you know linear regression?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. This you can see this linear regression. Linear or logistic? Which one is this?
What? Can you repeat?
which one is this? Is it a logistic regression or a linear regression?
It's linear, I think.
Linear, okay. I think you are not sure about it.
You mean it's logical?
I don't know because I have read mathematics. It's about 5 to 6 years.
But I think it's
Linear.
linear. Yeah.
Yeah, but
In
for
logistic,
me, it's
what
a
happens?
logical.
It's
Logical.
logistic.
And why? I
It's logistic or linear. Which one? I
it's
can't say
linear for
because I
me.
don't know what.
For me, it's linear.
For me, it's logical.
I got it.
Fine.
It's logistic. Okay.
No, I can't say because I don't know about it. That's why I asked you. Okay, fine. So these are few theories are there. I think if you read it, then might be you can few animations are there. I think it's for all.
Oh,
Few system is there. So I think these are the theories. I think it's better to read this. Animations are there. Okay, few animations are there. I will transfer this slide. You can open it. You can check it. The memory concept.
okay. Thank you.
And now 3 or 4 topics are remaining in the next class. All these topics are very basic. The remaining topics are. So I will discuss that part in the next lecture. And one more lecture I will take, that will be revision for the whole syllabus revision. Okay. So I will
Okay.
take it
Mr.
before
Omar, I
your
have a question.
just 1 or 2 days before of the examination. I will take that. Okay. It's up to
Okay.
you if you'll request. If you all will request, then I will take that. Okay.
Mhm.
You guys
Mr.
will
Omar,
be
do you know
late.
what will be our final exam?
When is I don't know about that date. What is the date
Sorry, what?
given you all? What is the date of exam given to you all?
Just a moment.
16 December.
No. I think it is 21 or 22.
Or let me check. Let me check. I think I am
Okay, just a minute.
22.
22.
Your exam will start from 17, and I think on 22 you have this exam. Okay.
No, 70. Our exam will start at 12.
17. Oh, 12. Okay.
12 to 13.
He's talking about day, not time. Ismail.
Date is 22.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No issue. One class is there. One class for your for the remaining content, and one class I will take for revision. Okay.
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 I would suggest you all to start your reading, read the content, and check the things, especially read the content uh, of university lecture, what they are writing. At least prefer their book. Okay. Okay. So that's all for today.
Okay.
I think. What's the time there?
Thank you for lecture.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for lecture.
I think there's 7 p.m. What's the time there? 7
Yeah,
5.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
It's
Yes.
time.
Okay. So okay. See you all the
Thank
next
you. Bye.
session. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.